Okay, now today we see the examples or the problems from the exercise B, Iron Bari book. Okay, so you see the exercise number 1. In the exercise number 1, they says that the difference between simple and compound interest. If you take the difference between simple interest and compound interest on a certain sum means principal, on a principal, if you calculate simple interest and compound interest for 2 years, if you calculate for 2 years at 4% per annum, that difference is rupees 32. The difference between simple interest and compound interest is rupees 32. Then what is the sum? What is the sum means what is the principal? They ask to calculate principal value. Okay. So what is the given thing? Period is given. Period is 2 years. N is 2 years. Rate of interest is 4%. Rate of interest is 4%. Okay. And if you calculate the simple interest and thereafter you calculate compound interest, and then you take the difference between compound interest and simple interest, that difference must be equal to 32 rupee. Difference between simple interest and compound interest must be equal to rupees 32. This is the given thing. Remember this. Okay. So first you calculate simple interest. In the second step, you calculate compound interest. First step, you calculate simple interest. Second step, you calculate compound interest. And thereafter, you take the difference. That difference must equal to rupees 32. This is the statement you have to tally. Okay. In this problem, if you start to calculate simple interest, principal is not given in the problem, then the interest is not given in the problem, rate and period are there. Rate of interest and period, N, 2 years is there. Suppose I tell you 100 is the principal. What is the amount of interest for 2 years? On rupee 100, if you calculate simple interest for 2 years at 4% per annum, what is the interest? Anyone tell me? What is the 4% of 100? 4% of 100 rupee. Am I audible?
8%.
8 rupee, not percent. 8 rupee is the interest. First year on rupee 100, if you calculate interest for 2 years, it is 8 rupee. Okay. If you calculate interest on rupees 100, that interest is 8. First year 4 rupees, second year 4 rupee. So total interest is 8 rupee. In the first step, we calculate interest under simple interest. Okay. So let us consider principal be rupees 100. Let principal be rupees 100. Principal is rupees 100. Then interest is not given the problem. Interest you calculate. Rate of interest is 4%. Then N is 2 years. Okay. First we calculate simple interest. The simple interest on rupees 100 Simple interest is equal to PNR divided by 100. So simple interest is equal to 100 into 2 into 4 divided by 100. Okay, this is the equation. Then your answer is 100 get cancelled. 2 into 4, 8. So interest is equal to 8 rupee. So simple interest is 8 rupee. If you consider principal as 100. Okay, this is the first step. Then we calculate in the second step compound interest. In the compound interest, it is not possible to calculate interest directly. We are not able to calculate interest directly. First, we calculate amount. Then amount minus principal is equal to interest. In this way, you proceed. Okay. So simple interest on rupees 100 is 8. Simple interest on rupees 100 is 8. In the second step, we calculate interest, compound interest on rupees 100. Compound interest on rupees 100. Okay. So calculation of compound interest. Your equation is A is equal to P in the bracket 1 plus R by 100 raised to N. Okay, this is the equation. If you fill the values, P is 100, 1 plus R, rate of interest is 4, divided by 100, raised to N is 2. N value is 2. Okay. Then if you simplify the bracket, 100 into 100 plus 4 divided by 100 raised to 2. Then A is equal to 100 into 104 divided by 100 raised to 2. A is equal to 100 into 1.04 raised to 2. 1.04 raised to 2. Here I will not apply the log because logarithm covers only 4 digits, but it is a 5-digit number. So I directly take the square 1.04 raised to 2. What is the answer? You calculate and tell me in your calculator. You take the calculator and tell me the answer. 1.04 raised to 2. One 1.04 raised to 2. What is your answer? So A is equal to 100 into 1.0816. 1.04 raised to 2 is 2 value is 1.0816816. This is the 1.04 square value. If you multiply this with 100, then A value is equal to 108.16. A value is 108.16. Then this is the amount. This is the compound interest amount. Amount value you calculated. Remember this. This is not a interest. This is amount. 108.16 is the amount. Therefore, you calculate interest. So interest is equal to amount minus principal. Interest is equal to amount minus principal, 108.16, and principal value is 100. We consider 100 as principal. Therefore, if you deduct from the amount minus principal is equal to 8.16. A to P 8.16 is the interest, compound interest. Then simple interest is 8 rupee. I calculated simple interest and also calculated compound interest. What is the difference between simple interest and compound interest? Tell me. What is the difference between simple interest and compound interest? as per my calculation, what is the difference between simple interest and compound interest? Am I audible or not? 8 rupees is the simple interest. 8 rupees is the simple interest. 8.16 is the compound interest. Then what is the difference?
0.16.
0.16 is the difference between simple interest and compound interest. 0.16 is the difference between simple interest and compound interest, and 0.16 is difference when you consider 100 as principal. If you consider 100 as principal, your difference is 0.16. But in the problem, actual difference is 32 rupee. Actual difference is 32 rupee. To get 32 rupee difference, what is the principal? 0.16 difference, 100 is the principal. Am I right? For 0.16 difference, 100 is the principal. For 32 rupee difference, what is the principal? If you calculate this, you will get the principal value. So, difference between simple interest and compound interest is 8.16 minus 8 is equal to 0.16. 0.16. Then I'll write the proportion. The differences are there. There are two differences. One is as per my calculation, another is as per the given problem. As per my calculation, 0.16 is the difference. As per the problem, 32 is the difference. Okay. So for 0.16 difference, I considered 100 as principal. But for 32 difference, what is the principal? Okay, this is the one ratio, principal ratio. This is the difference ratio. Difference ratio is 0.16 is to 32. And principal ratio is 100 is to x. Okay, if you multiply the means is equal to extremes, then you will get the answer. You will get the answer. Okay. So you take the value. Therefore, 0.16x, 0.16 into x is equal to 32 into 100. 32 into 100. Therefore, 0.16 is equal to 3200. Then x is equal to 3200 divided by 16. 3200 divided by 16. Okay. Then x is equal to 20,000. X is equal to 20,000. So x is the sum. X is the value of sum. Principal. Therefore, sum is equal to 20,000. Sum value is 20,000. This is the solution. So in this problem, you consider 100 as principal. First, you calculate simple interest. In the second step, you calculate compound interest. Take the difference. Then third step, you take the difference. In the fourth step, you write the proportion. And get the answer. Four steps you follow. Okay. This is the first problem from the exercise B. Okay, now come to the second example. The second example, you see the second example, rupees 500 amounts to rupees 800 in 5 years. You see the problem. Rupees 500. If you invest rupees 500, that amount to 800 in 5 years at a certain rate of compound interest. I don't know the compound interest. Then question is, how much will it amount in 10 years? The second question asked is, how much will it amount in 10 years? In the first step, he says that 500 rupee principal amounts to rupees 800 in 5 years. In 5 years. You see here, rupees 500 is the principal. It amount to 800. In how many years? 5 years. In 5 years. What is the rate of interest? Rate of interest is not given. Rate of interest is not given. Okay. So this problem you have to solve with the help of 2 steps. In single step, it is not possible to ascertain the amount at the end of 10 years. Amount at the end of 10 years, they asked. Amount at the end of 10 years is not possible to calculate directly. Amount at the end of 10 years is not possible to calculate directly. First, you have to calculate rate of interest. Okay. First, you calculate rate of interest in the first step. Taking information from the first sentence. Taking information from the first sentence, you calculate rate of interest. Rate of interest. And in the second step, you calculate amount at the end of 10 years. Amount at the end of 10 years. Okay. So, in the first step, calculate. In the first step, you calculate the rate. So, in the first step, principal is equal to 500. Then amount is equal to 800 and n is equal to 5. Then r is equal to question mark. So in the first step, you solve this. In the first step, you solve this. 500 is the principal, amount is 800, n is 5 years, r is question mark. You calculate rate of interest. You calculate rate of interest. After calculating the rate of interest, then next second step. Second step, principal is equal to 500. Then n is equal to 10. R is equal to, you take the R from the first step. First step answer R, rate of interest. In the first step, you calculate the rate of interest. That rate of interest you take here. R value. Okay, you take the R value and amount is equal to question mark. You calculate the amount. These two steps you follow and ascertain the answer for this question. Answer for this question. Remember this. Any doubt? In the first step, you take principal 500, amount 800, N5, R question mark. Apply the compound interest equation and calculate the R value. And in the second step, you take 500 principal, N value 10, R value as per the first step. R value as per the first step and calculate the amount. This is the problem. You solve it. I will not solve this problem. I have given the hints to solve the problem. You solve this problem and ascertain the amount at the end of 10 years. Ascertain the amount at the end of 10 years. Okay. Then come to the third example, third question. A person borrowed rupees 1,640. A person borrowed 1,640 at 5% per annum compound interest. 5% per annum compound interest is there. Amount borrowed is 1,640. That is the principal. Amount borrowed is principal. 5% is the rate of interest. If he repaid the amount in two equal installment, two equal annual installment. Okay, that means a person borrowed 1,640. He paid that loan in two equal annual installments. The first at the end of first year and second installment at the end of second year. Okay. This is the problem, and rate of interest is 5%. Rate of interest is 5%. Find the amount of each installment. Find the amount of each installment. They ask to calculate what is the amount of annual installment. Okay, what is the amount of annual installment? In this problem, you see there, principal is 1,640. Principal is 1,640. And rate of interest is 5% per annum. And method applicable is compound interest method. Compound interest method. So I'll tell you, you calculate the amount at the end of first year. You calculate amount at the end of first year. At the end of first year, whatever amount you calculate, in that amount, you pay the first installment. You pay the first installment. After paying the first installment, whatever balance remains, that is the principal for the second year. That is the principal for the second year. And on that balance principal, you calculate interest amount or interest at the end of second year. At the end of second year. Then second year end, you pay the second installment. You pay the second installment. So whatever second installment you pay, that must equal to second year end amount. Second year end amount. This is the way of solution. This is the way of solution. Okay. Once again, I will tell you, you take the principal 1,640. Rate of interest is 5%. You calculate amount at the end of first year. First year amount you calculate. Amount at the end of first year means you take n as 1. N value 1. You take the n value 1, you calculate amount at the end of first year. You calculate the amount at the end of first year. In that amount, you deduct the first installment, whatever he paid at the end of first year. You deduct the first installment. If the first installment deducts, balance amount remains. that balance amount become the principal for the second year. On the second year balance principal, you calculate amount at the end of second year. Amount at the end of second year. And whatever amount at the second year is there, that must equal to the second installment he pays. He pays. Remember this. Okay. I'll make the same solution here. So you see here, principal is 1,640. Amount is not given. You have to calculate the amount. Then a rate of interest is 5%. N is 2 years. But I will not applicable N as 2. Now I calculate year wise. I will calculate year wise. Okay. So first we calculate compound amount for the first year. We calculate amount for the first year. Okay. We calculate amount for the first year. If you calculate amount for the first year, A is equal to P in the bracket 1 plus R by 100 raised to N. This is your equation. So P is 1640. 1640 is the principal. 1 plus 5 is the rate of interest divided by 100. Raised to N is 1 because I am calculating amount for 1 year. I am calculating amount for only 1 year, not for 2 years. Because it is installment method problem. It is installment problem, method problem. So I am calculating amount at the end of first year. So I consider N as only 1. Okay. If you simplify this bracket, 1 will not affect. N value 1 will not affect on the any term. It is neutral. So 1640 into 100 plus 5 divided by 100 is the second next step. Then 1640 into 105 divided by 100. Okay. Then A is equal to 1640 into 1.5. 1640 into 1.5. So amount at the end of first year. Amount at the end of first year is 1722. Amount at the end of first year is 1722. 1722 is the amount at the end of first year. Okay. It is the amount at the end of first year. Then I'll deduct the first installment out of 1722 rupee. First year end. First year end, the borrower pay the first installment. Borrower pay the first installment. Therefore, 1722 is the amount at the end of first year. In that amount, I deduct first year installment. First year installment. Then whatever balance remains, that balance is the principal for the second year. That balance is the principal for the second year. Okay. And I calculate second year amount. Okay, I'll calculate second year amount. But in this problem, installment is not given. Amount of installment is not given, but the installments are equal installments. Installments are equal installments. Therefore, I consider one installment as A. A is the one installment. One installment value is A because that is not given the problem. You consider one installment as A. First year end, he gives first installment. Second year end, he gives second installment. Okay. So out of this 1722, I deduct the first installment. First installment. So I consider, let one installment be rupees A. A is the value of one installment. Okay. If you deduct this installment out of the first year amount, 1722 is the amount at the end of first year, you deduct the first installment paid at the end of first year. You deduct the installment. So principal for the second year. Principal for the second year. A is the amount of installment paid at the end of first year. Then total amount for the first year end is 1722. In 1722, you deduct the amount paid as installment. A is the amount paid. Therefore, principal for the second year is 1722 is the amount. Out of that, A is the installment paid. Balance is 1722 minus A. I'm not able to deduct it directly because one is numerical term, another is alphabetic term. Okay, therefore, this is the principal for the second year. Now I calculate the amount at this end of second year. Second year amount I'll calculate. Only 1 year. First year completed. 1722 is the amount. Out of 1722, I deducted the first installment. Then balance is 1722 minus 8. This is the balance. On this balance amount, on this balance principal, he has to pay interest for the second year. He has to pay interest for the second year. Remember this. So I'll calculate amount on this for the second year. So compound, calculation of compound amount for the second year. We calculate amount for the second year. So your equation is A is equal to 1 plus R divided by 100 raised to N. In this equation, I'll fill up the value. So your value is P value. What is the P? Balance amount. 1722 minus A is nothing but P value, principal. This is the balance. This is the principal for the second year. And your amount equation is 1 plus R by 100. 1 plus R is 5 divided by 100. Raised to N 1 year, only 1 year, so it will not affect. It will not affect. Therefore, I will not record. If you simplify this again, A is equal to 1722 minus A into 1.5. I already solved in the previous part. In the previous part, I solved the above equation. I will not make more steps. So 1.5 is the value. 1 plus 5 divided by 100 is nothing but 1.5. If you multiply this 1.5 with first term and second term, you remember this. This 1.5 is the second term and first term is 1722 minus A. So you multiply this. First 1.05 into 1722. And second time you multiply with A. Whatever answer comes, we will see. If you multiply this, next step is A is equal to 1808.10. 1808.10 means 1722 into 1.05. 1722 into 1.05 is equal to 1808.10. Okay. Minus sign is there. Put minus. A into 1.05. A into 1.05 is equal to 1.005 A. Okay. This is the answer or amount at the end of second year. This is the amount at the end of second year. Remember this. Amount for the second year is 1808.10 minus 1.058. It is the amount for the second year. So I will say that second year amount must equal to second year installment, because last installment, whatever he is paying, that must equal to whole remain balance, whole account balance. Account balance yesterday sari agle. So I say that second year amount must equal to second installment. This is my statement. Second year amount, whatever amount you calculated, 1808.10 minus 1.05 A is the amount at the end of second year. Amount at the end of second year. This amount must equal to second installment. Second installment. The installment, second installment. And second installment value is nothing but A, because installments are equal installments. Equal installment. Therefore, I make that statement. So my statement is second year amount is equal to last installment. Second year amount, whatever you calculated, is equal to last installment, that is second installment. So you write it. Second year installment is equal to 1A. Second year amount is equal to. Second year amount is equal to second year installment. That is A value. Installment is A. I already told. We considered A as one installment. So second year amount is equal to A. So second year amount is 1808.10 minus 1.05. This is the second year amount is equal to A value, is equal to A. Therefore, you take 1.05 A minus value to the right hand side. Right hand side, it becomes plus. It becomes plus. So next step is 1808.10 is equal to A plus 1.05 A. Okay. In the next step, you take the total of A plus 1.05. What is the total of this? Anyone tell me? A plus 1.05 A. What is the total of this? Anyone tell me if you are able to tell what is the total of that? Is it possible to tell me the answer or not? A plus 1.05 A. What is the total? No, you are not able. This is A means this is. You see this. A is nothing but 1A. A is nothing but 1A. This is 1.5A. 1A, 1.5A, 1.05A means 2.05A. This is very important, you remember. So 1808.10 is equal to 2.05A. This is the point, remember. So you take this 0.2A to left hand side. 2.05 is multiplied with A. Therefore, you take to the left hand side, that goes to denominator place. That goes to denominator place. Therefore, 1808.10 divided by 2.5. 2.05 is equal to A. 0.5 is equal to A. Therefore, 882 is equal to A. 882 is equal to A. What is A? A is one installment. Because of space problem, I have not recorded the answer. You write the answer. One installment is equal to 882 rupees. One installment is equal to 882 rupees. You write it. This is the answer. Okay. This is the third problem I solved. Second problem I told to solve you people. Okay. Now you come to see the fourth problem. Example number 4. According to your book, Iron Berry book, fourth example is based on a machine costing rupees 15,000. Cost of machine is 15,000, is depreciated at 10% per annum. Rate of depreciation is 10%. Diminishing balance method. How long will it take to reduce to rupees 1,400? So you solve this problem. I will not solve this problem. You solve this problem. In this problem, P is equal to 15,000. Then a rate of depreciation is equal to 10%. Then P is equal to value after certain period. Value after certain period is equal to 1,400. Then you calculate N is equal to N is equal to question mark. You calculate N value. You calculate N value. I solved 2 problems. I given 2 problems for you people for your homework. You solve those problems and upload in the Teachment app. I'm not starting Teachment app because you all not registered to the Teachment app. Only 29 students have registered. If you register more than 40 members, I'll start the Teachment app. Okay. If I start Teachment, that will create problem regarding your attendance. Therefore, I'm not starting the Teachment app. So